The sphere, girls, you don't have to add on anything, right? This is the area, is the total surface area, so you don't need to add on anything, right? And the volume is 4 pi r cubed, right? Remember, for a hemisphere, which is not in your log tables, it's 2/3 pi r cubed, but it's 3 pi r squared. It's not 2 pi r squared, which is half, because there's an extra circle. When you have an orange, you get an extra circle at the top. So it's 3 pi r squared. Remember those if they don't make sense. Trapezium, don't mind that, you don't need that, or you don't need that. Nothing on the next page is relevant to you, okay? Right? And then on this page, right, the trapezoidal rule, girls, is here. But as I say, does that make sense to you? No. So h/2, the first plus the last plus twice the rest is the best way to do it, because that way it looks weird, okay? Right, so remember you have to learn the trapezoidal rule, h/2, and if you forget the h/2, you have the log tables for the h/2. But first plus last plus twice the rest. Is that okay? Yes.
Let's say in my own log tables, I was to write the one you gave us. Could they say that's cheating?
No, God, no. No, God, you've learned something. That's not cheating if you've learned something. Right, okay, right. On to some of these questions. So, will we talk about them and then I'll leave you off to do some? Right, trapezium, you know the formula, A over B divided by 2. So it's A plus B, which is 11 plus 3 over 2 multiplied by 8. Right, okay. Cleaner soaps powder is sold in cubical boxes. So cube means all the length, width and height are all the same. The small side has a side of 10 and contains 600 grams. The large side has a side of 15. Calculate the weight of powder contained in the large size. Okay, so that's kind of ratio and proportion. Okay, so if it was 10 by 10 by 10, right, okay, you get the volume of each box. 10 by 10 by 10, 15 by 15 by 15, right, okay. And then you'd use, well, if 10 by 10, I might do this one because it's hard, right, okay. So I'll go back to here, right, I'm going to draw out these boxes.
Excuse me, please. Ashling Bannon to reception now.
grams. Okay, right. So here we go. Here's the questions drawn.
Excuse me, please. Sarah Sullivan to reception also.
So this one contains 600 grams and they want to know how much is in this one. Okay, so it's all proportion, but you have to do it in volume. So the volume of the small one is 10 by 10 by 10 into the calculator. With that you'll get 1,000. Okay, is that alright? Next one, the volume down here. What would the volume of this one down here be? 15 by 15 by 15, which is, someone's going to do it for me, 3,375 cm cubed. Is that alright? Okay, so you have to do proportion now for this one, okay? So 1,000 cm cubed, so if you have this much volume, it contains 600 grams, okay? So 1,000 cm cubed contains 600 grams, is that alright? And the question is, what's 3,375 cm cubed? How much will that contain? Okay, is that alright? So this is like ratio and proportion from third year. Okay, let's find out how much 1 cm cubed contains. So how do you go from 1,000 down to 1? You divide by 1,000. D for down, D for divide. So 1,000 divided by 1,000 will give me 1. So if I do it to that side, I have to do it to this side, so I need to 600 divided by 1,000. Okay? So 600 divided by 1,000 would be 0.6. Right, so 1 cm cubed will contain 0.6 of a gram. Okay? How will I go up to 3375? Multiply by 3375. And if you do it to that side, you must do it to this side. So you go 0.6 multiplied by 33375. And someone might give me the answer there.
2025.
Say that again.
2025.
2025 grams. Is that okay? Girls, that's a bit of ratio and proportion from third year. Don't worry, I won't do that to you right Friday week. Okay? But that's how you do it. Is that alright? Okay. So when I'm leaving you off to do these, you can leave out number 2 because I've just done it. Okay? So you can do number 1. Right. Number 3, let's read it and then I'm going to leave you off to do them in a minute. The cylinder and cone have equal volumes, so you can say pi r squared h equals 1/3 pi r squared h. What'll I do? Pi r squared h on one side, 1/3 pi r squared h on the other side. What'll I do? Knock off the pi's. Then fill in r, 6, height 20. Over this side, fill in r, 12, and height you don't know, and solve. Right, I'll leave that with you. Don't mind that. Skip to find h. Right, okay. The volume of the rectangular block. How to get the volume of a rectangular block? It's not in the log tables. Length by width by height. So it's 12 by 4 by a. Doesn't matter what order you put them in. 12 by 4 by a equals 374. Work out what a is. Right, okay. Trapezoidal rule. Tell me what it is. H over 2. What's first plus last plus twice the rest? What's h? What's the first? What's the last? 22. And the rest are 13, 15, 23, 19 and 26. I'll leave it to you. Right, okay. Next one. A cylindrical water tank has internal diameter. Now, be careful here. Why am I saying be careful? Because what did they tell you? Diameter. And what's in all the formulas? Radius. So have that. Don't read any further. Have it. Cross it out and write in radius equals 20. Okay? Right? You're never cold. Are you? It's freezing, I know. It's like an icebox in here. Height 50. Right? Cylindrical mug has an internal diameter of the, again, they give you the diameter. Okay, so you need to have that straight away because no formula has a diameter in it. Okay, find the volume of the tank in terms of pi. Right, okay, find the volume of the mug in terms of pi. So the both cylinders, pi r squared h. Right, fill in r h. Right, okay, in terms of pi, don't multiply the pi. Same here, fill in r is 4, height is 10. Fill it in. Right, how many mugs can be filled from a full tank? What do you do then? So how many mugs? So you'll have this volume and you'll have this volume. So how many mugs? Divide. So it's the big number divided by the small number to see how many mugs you have. Right? Okay. Write down the area of this parallelogram. The area of a parallelogram is in your log tables. It's the base by the perpendicular height. So if I use this one as a base, do I have the straight up height? No. But if I turn it sideways and I use this one as the base, do I have the straight up height? Yeah. So turn it sideways. So the base is 5 and the straight up height is 6. Right? Is that okay? I'm going to ask you to do 1 to 7 except number 2 now. Right? And when you've that much done, we'll move on to the more of them. Okay, I don't want to go through too many of them. You can, and I'll put them up on Teams and I'll put it up here as well.
What page is it on?
521. So leave out number 2 because I did it, okay? Hang on now a sec. Right, what am I doing? Photographing. Teams.